Okay, new batch. Continuing with our experiments. We had a fun weekend. We entertained some friends, we made brunch, and we made tons so that we could have leftovers to freeze dry. So, this first tray, see how we can see it? This is sausage gravy. So, we've got sausage gravy. And the next three trays, these are all hash browns with eggs, scrambled eggs mixed in. So this is something I've been wanting, well, come on, there we go. I'm wanting to do this for a while because my thought was like, it could be breakfast burrito filling or even just like a breakfast hash, right? Just like a skillet meal or something. The eggs were seasoned, they had cheese and green onions, and then the hash browns. So pretty simple, basic, not a lot of vegetables or anything. I would have added bacon, but my husband was like, no, let's not. So they can always add that when they reheat it up. So we got 3 trays of the scrambled egg and hash brown mixture. And then the 1 tray of the sausage gravy. This last tray, we're repeating our experiment from this morning. So we got jelly beans, Swedish fish, cinnamon bears, and sour watermelon gummies. Now, we tried the candies in a more dry batch. Just by adding at the end of a batch, we just added the candy and then put more dry. We actually did it for quite a bit of time because I think we added on 6 hours originally, but then it was going to end at like 11:30 at night or something, and we had friends over and I was tired and I didn't want to deal with it, so I just bumped it up always. And I learned this the hard way. If you're going to do that and not worry about it till the next morning, add the extra dry time on. So I added like 10-12 hours extra dry time, something like that, so that this morning, once we were up, it was just finishing. And if you get up in the morning and it still has a couple hours that you know you didn't need, you can always lower the dry time down. That is better, because otherwise, what I learned last week is if you let it end. We had a batch that like ended early, wee hours in the morning, maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. And what it does is it cools it, it refrigerates them until you come to check on them. So it was a batch of candy and it was Skittles, and they were done, and I pulled them out and they were cold. It was like negative 51 degrees in here. And so they were really cold. And I made the mistake. I pulled all the trays out, and then I realized a few minutes later the Skittles were getting sticky, and they were like the condensation, because they were essentially freeze dried and then frozen. So it ended up being fine. I let them dry out and they were fine. But somebody had told me that, and in one of the groups I'm in, they said, no, don't ever do that. If that happens, you want to click on warm trays, and it'll warm the trays up and kind of bring the Skittles and whatever's inside there, for me it was Skittles, back to room temperature. So lesson learned. If that ever happens, next time I'll do that. But so this time we're gonna go ahead and get her going. So I gotta close my drain valve, which it would remind me of here in a second anyway, which I love. Okay, not frozen. It's steaming up a little bit because those eggs and hash browns are a little warm. We just finished up doing those. So we got our food loaded in the freeze dryer, close the drain valve, continue, and we're freezing. So we should be good to go. It's gonna go ahead and freeze it now. We'll see how the candy does doing it from start to finish, because obviously this candy didn't do anything with the added dry, so that's why we're adding it in here. We're gonna see if it does anything doing a full cycle. If it does, great. If it doesn't, these candies just apparently you can't freeze dry, so no worries. We only have 1 tray, so we're not, and we did 5 or 6 of each thing, so we're not super invested. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Alright, so last night the progress jar was about, like 4/5 of the way. It was almost done, and I didn't want it to finish in the middle of the night, so I bumped it up to 12 hours just to be on the safe side, and we went to bed. So this is this morning. I'm it got stuck because it's still estimating completion. So it should have had plenty of time to dry. So I'm gonna tap this and see what it does. Okay, so all I did was tap that and it's telling me it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up and we're gonna check it. So this has happened one other time when I've adjusted the dry time. It kind of got stuck and it was long past when it should have been done. So, and it did the same thing. I just tapped that button and it took me to this screen and stopped. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking they're pretty good. So let's go ahead and check them. I'm gonna go ahead and open our drain valve. Let that get pressure down. And let's see how we are. All right, so this is our sausage gravy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's plenty dry. That's looking good. And this is our, okay, this is nice and loose. This is our kind of like a breakfast burrito filling or a breakfast hash. We got 3 trays of that. Now this one, this is the second time we've done these. Yeah, no, they're still gummy. I just don't think these are freeze dryable. Let's look. Here's the cinnamon bears. Same thing. Look at that. They're just still chewy. So we ran these through a partial cycle. And there's the jelly beans and the Swedish fish. Let's see. Yeah. So the Swedish fish, look at that. No, they're just, these just aren't freeze dryable, I guess. I mean, okay, oh there, now I can squish it. It's a jelly bean, they're hard to squish, but they're gummy inside still. So, lesson learned, jelly beans, Swedish fish, cinnamon bears, and sour watermelons, those just aren't freeze dryable. They're nothing's changed at all with them. All right, so here's the results of that batch. The candy was still a no-go. So the cinnamon bears, the jelly beans, the sour watermelons, and the, what else do we have? Swedish fish, that was the other one. Those were all no-goes. So my only guess is that, that's the Keurig with water, by the way. I'm eating up water. My only guess is that because these ones, even though they're gummy, they have just a little bit of like an outside crust that I think they don't freeze dry. Even so, we've tried on the quick dry or the add more dry time. We've done them on a cycle like that, like we usually do the Skittles, and we've done them on a full cycle. So didn't do anything at the time. So those are just not freeze dryable. We may experiment, soak them in water and see what happens, but I'm not worried about it. It was a fun experiment. So we've bagged up eggs and hash browns and the sausage gravy. I've got my water just coming out of the Keurig nice and hot, and we're gonna reconstitute this. So I've actually already sealed these. I didn't intend to do this, but I'm going to just for funsies so we can show you. I probably should do some more videos like this showing you the end result. But with that, oh, and I have my little oxygen packet we no longer need. See how crumbly. Now here's the thing. These eggs, somebody had mentioned this before and I thought it was kind of odd, but they're like scrambled eggs freeze dried. They're like, you can just snack on them. They're so good just to eat as snacks. And I was like, weird. That's weird. But as I was bagging these up, I thought, what the heck, I'm just gonna try one. And so I tried a little group of scrambled eggs that were freeze-dried. They actually are pretty good. So I was like, that's kind of a cool little protein snack, really. They are kind of good. So anyhow, just kind of, you know, don't knock it till you try it, I guess. So here's our eggs and hash browns. And then let me open the sausage gravy. So I put some in these smaller bags. Here's our little oxygen absorber. I put some in smaller bags. Here's our sausage gravy, if you can see that. They're just in clumps. It was really easy. The sausage gravy and a lot of the sauces, I like it because you can break them off in big chunks, stick them in the bag, and then crush them up, and then you can fill more in. But it makes it less messy because the eggs and hash browns, that was super messy. Super messy. Oh my gosh, it was such a mess. Putting in the bags, like, yeah, we had to wipe the table and sweep the floor afterwards. It was pretty messy. But I put them in 2 different size bags. So I did these little bags, which are like a single serving size. And then I also did bigger, like quart size bags for like, it'd be like a family meal. So I'm going to reconstitute these 2 little ones, and my husband's volunteered to try them and be the guinea pig. And so let's see what he thinks. So I got my water. I got some nice hot water out of the Keurig. I'm just gonna eyeball it in these. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball how much. And I guess the gravy, if I put too much in, it would just make it runny gravy. So remember, I don't know if you saw one of my previous videos, and I was like, the zipper's kind of dumb on the little bags because you're gonna eat it. Why do you need a zipper? It dawned on me today, this is why you need a zipper. So I was like, oh, so you can, because with hot water will make things reconstitute faster. And I think it needs a little more because I could fill some crunchies. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. With the zipper, you add your hot water, it reconstitutes faster, and you can mush it like this, not need a spoon or fork or anything to stir it. But also, as it sits, sometimes freeze-dried food needs just a couple minutes to sit and fully absorb all the water. So having the zipper, you can really trap in that moisture. So I'm gonna let this one sit while I do the other one. So here's our eggs and hash browns. You can see inside there. Oh, here, I'll pull an egg out. Look at that. How dry. It looks just like scrambled eggs, but it's just freeze-dried. So you can hear my chickens in the background singing their songs. All right, same thing. I'm gonna zip it. So yeah, I feel kind of dumb now because I was like, zippers are dumb and they're useless on these little bags. Not so much. They actually have a purpose. So, all right, I've got this. I'm gonna let them sit for just a minute, and then I'm gonna have my husband try them. Okay, it's just been a minute, and my sweetheart is here. Look, he's helping, and he's wearing our new shirts. Yay! We love these new shirts. You can get them on our blog, so order them if you're into freeze drying. Okay, I think the sausage gravy is good. Here's a spoon. Let's show it.
Actually, don't look that bad.
How did it read? Oh yeah, does it need more water? We can taste it and see. If it needs more water, we can always add more water.
Depends the preference. This is kind of texture of glue. I don't know if we can see that or not, but
that's the gravy. But it looks like it's absorbed pretty good. Here's your spoon. See what you think. You gotta come so we get your reaction in the camera. Oh, not too. You're taller than I am, so we have to hold it up. How's it taste? It looks like the normal gravy consistency.
flavor's all there. Yeah, the meat hasn't quite rehydrated.
Okay.
It's got a bit of cracker texture to it, but it's the flavor's there and it's all still real good. Yeah, I would put that over my eggs or toast or whatever.
Well, let's zip it up and then we can check in a few more minutes because it only had about 2 minutes to rehydrate.
Not bad.
All right, well, let's try the eggs. Oh, so in here they may look dry still, but they're actually pretty moist. They're just individually. So you can get your spoon. Might need some salsa or ketchup or something, but
Might. Yeah, so I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
Camera. There it is.
Camera's
Right here.
over
Okay,
there,
there you go. So it's not bad. You can see the wiggly on the hash brown, so it's not
It's
crispy.
not dry, but it might need a few more minutes if the meat did. How's it do?
That's actually really good.
Does it need more time or more water?
No, but it would be good with like ketchup or salsa. Something a little
Well,
bit
that's
more.
what you'd normally put on them too.
Yeah, yeah.
I should freeze dry salsa. I should try that.
No, those came out really good actually.
Like
That's,
combine the two. Put the sausage over
yeah,
the eggs.
you can totally combine the two and make a breakfast out of it or a brunch.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks for being my guinea pig.
I like it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so there you have it. So you don't have to take my word for it. We have an actual tester. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And be sure to head over to our Facebook group, Freeze Drying Adventures with What 88, to see more posts and information.